bring awareness for Suicide Prevention Month. We sat down with Dr. Joe Williams, a psychologist and professor at Cameron University, to get better insight about suicide. Dr. Williams, thank you so much for being with us today. And we want to explore this whole thing of suicide prevention, and take a look at it from a couple of different aspects. But I want to start with a basic question, because a lot of times we hear when something has happened adversely, we hear, oh, it was, they had a mental health issue. So what is the difference when we talk about a mental health issue? How do we break that down?
Right. So with mental health, it's actually kind of broken down into three different schools. We have the biological approach that deals with the physiology and the chemicals, the brain chemistry. Mm-hmm. Secondarily, we have the psychological approach, which deals with life's experiences and things of that nature. When we talk about the psychological approach, we're dealing with a lot of behavioral things. We can treat those things without medication. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, we have the socio-cultural approach, which deals with how individuals were reared, how they were raised. And so depending on what particular school of thought a clinician comes from will determine how they interact with that particular client population. So the term mental health has been so broadly used that I don't think we really understand what's mental health, psychiatric health, and really just behavioral health anymore.
Any one of those can lead to suicide, though?
Any one of those can lead to suicide. People are overwhelmed because there's just an emotional dysregulation that happens within that person. So any can lead to suicide, certainly.
I saw a post just this morning on Facebook where a woman said, I hate this life. I hate my life. I wish I had never been born. And it kind of like, whoa, what happened here? And it brought an alarm. When we see things like that, is that a red flag?
It is. When you see something of that nature, it's important that we speak up. Oftentimes people believe that if we don't say anything, it'll just go away. Suicide is not that type of matter. By speaking about it, by being assertive and assertively addressing it, we know that we actually will provide that individual with support. Then they know that what they're struggling with is not nuanced to them, but it's something that we can more normalize, and getting help can be more normalized in our community.
I know that part of it also the stigma of, well, if I don't say anything, they won't think about it, they won't do it. But,
right.
Really, we should say something.
We should say something. That is the most important part. You don't even have to be a mental health practitioner or a clinician. If you see someone struggling, say something. The stats and all the data suggest that when you intervene, even simply by saying that you're there to support, you're there to help, it actually reduces the likelihood of them following through with that suicidal ideation.
In times past, I've had friends whose children committed suicide and just, of course, ripped their heart out. Yeah. I've had students who attempted suicide, and I remember one young lady saying to me that she just walked into a lake and just walked until the water was over her head and stuff. But she said that at that moment, it came to her that that was going to be it, and she was going to be in trouble. So she struggled to get out and back to the shore, which was a good thing. Do people often change their mind at the last minute?
They do, because they realize that they don't want to make a permanent choice for a temporary problem. And when they have those moments where they begin to kind of back away from that ideation, it's important that there are people in their lives there to tell them, hey, it's okay. Let's go find you some help, some professional help. So that is really the role of our community, to be a presence.
A lot of times, and especially in our culture, it's what happens at home stays at home. And so you tend to build up. Are we seeing a lot of people in the black race or other races who are more prone for suicide? And if so, what is the choice?
That's a wonderful question. There's some interesting data. So in the state of Oklahoma, we know that the highest population of individuals that commit suicide is actually within the Native American community. But a more interesting fact is that in the state of Oklahoma, individuals more often hospitalized for suicidal ideation or for a failed attempt is actually the African American population, which tells me that somehow we have slowly begun to shift the culture to where there's less stigma amongst African Americans. They're actually seeking help. So now the goal is to get this same information out to other populations within Oklahoma so they realize it's okay to hurt. It's okay to hurt, and there are services out here to help you through it.
All right. Our time is gone. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. If you or anyone you know is struggling with suicide, help is available. We encourage you to speak with someone today by calling 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It is available 24 hours a day, and your conversations are free and confidential.